What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button on YouTube. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'm gonna let a few hundred of you guys come in first. I know I caught y'all off guard with this one, so I give y'all time to catch up. Let a few hundred people come in, maybe about 300-400 people come in, and then I'll go in. In the meantime, I'll give out some shout outs. I see Jam Pen up in this building. I see Steel 88, Buckhorse DC. What up, King? I see you. Sean Lunatic in the building, checking in. Sean, salute. Define TV. Mary Holt. What's up, Mary? Gary. Ashton Spencer. What up? What it do? What it do? Sosa. Willie C. Godbolt. What up? Myron Hope's in the building. What's up, brother? I see you. H-Town representative. Y'all don't understand how that boy represent. H-Town for real. You know, a brother and one of my greatest supporters, fam. I couldn't ask for a better friend. You dig what I'm saying? Sean, okay, I got Sean Lunatic in here. JoeStevens, what's up? What's up, Joe? I see you. What it do? All right, fam. It's time. This post is from a post that I dropped earlier on my YouTube channel where I was talking about this couple who was confronted by a mall worker because they had the man abused his daughter. You know, she said she witnessed the guy cuss his daughter out and then smack her across the head. Mama told her, stay out my business, mind your business. The daddy was very aggravated and belligerent. He wanted to fight the girl and, you know, threatening her and all of this type of stuff. And at the end of the video, they made the little girl who, one of the older girls, the little girl looked to be about maybe 10, 11 years old, made her call the woman who exposed them a bum ass B. So you know how, fam, you hear it all the time. You always hear it starts at home. What type of future y'all think that girl is gonna have with a mother and father who behaves like that? I mean, they was clowning, fam. If you go to my video on YouTube, let's see what it's titled. What's the title of that video? Let's see. Way up here. What would you do? Mall worker exposes angry father for hitting daughter in public. So if you go to that video, you'll see what I'm talking about. So when the woman exposed them, put them on blast, they didn't have a good argument, so they started talking about her clothes and, you know, talking about how she looked. Ironically, you know, the woman had the typical ghetto extended nails and the bonnet on her head, and the two girls, her daughters, also had bonnets on their heads. Now, here's the thing, fam. You know, I'm a huge child advocate. I sincerely believe that the children are the future. It's not just a phrase for me. It's something that I live by. This is why I treat all children with respect. This is why my nephews and nieces measure their words when they're around me. They try not to cuss, even though some of them are 20 something, 30 years old. They got their own kids. They respect me because I respect them. And, you know, I remember my sisters at certain points in the kids' lives, they would call me and tell me to come whoop the kids because they was getting out of line. And I was like, no, don't call me for that because I'm not going to be the whoop ass uncle. Don't call me for that. You know, if you want me to come talk to them, I'll talk to them. If they need my support for something, cool. But do not call me to whoop ass because I'm not doing that. I was treated that way and I hated how I felt. And I don't want to be that dude that claim to love somebody but beat them at the same time. I don't think some of you guys understand how confusing that is to a child when the person who is supposed to be their primary caretaker is abusing them, putting hands on them, and then say that they love them, but then put hands on them. Now, I'm not talking about a little tap here, a little spanking here, you know, to make sure, you know, that's hot. Don't touch that. You know, I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm not talking about a little spanking where a kid got out of line, you know, you gave him a few taps across the butt, you know, with a belt or something. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about some of you bully ass parents out there who was in my comment section. And I'm going to read some of these comments, not to put anybody on blast, but I want y'all to understand how detrimental abuse is in our society. How parents oftentimes abuse their children and they call it discipline, but it's abuse. It's a big difference between abuse and discipline. If discipline to you is leaving bruises, cutting skin, and putting hands on your child to the point that they need medical attention, that is not discipline. That is abuse, and your monkey ass should be in jail. It's point blank, period. I don't want to hear nothing about how, you know, well, you know, it worked for me. My mama beat my ass, and I'm glad they beat my ass. I turned out all right. Did you really turn out all right? Did you really turn out all right? Maybe you think you did, but do others think you turned out all right? How about your kids? What do your kids think of you? What are your friends really saying about your temperament? Some of you ain't got it all. Just like that dude in the mall, he thought he was right because, oh, that's my child. I brought her into the world. I feed her. I clothe her. So therefore, I get to do what I want to do to her. By the way, the woman pointed at the girl, was pointing at the girl, and the father got offended talking about, don't point at my motherfucking daughter, don't point at my. So now you want to protect, you first you're going to beat her, then you're going to protect her. Which one is going to be? You see, that's very confusing. And then you wonder, when these kids grow up in households where they see their mothers being abused, they'll see that sometimes some of them see their fathers being abused. They get abused. When they see that abuse, and then they hear the word, I love you, and then they see people doing nice stuff for them, but then they going across their head, it's confusing. So what happens is that you think it's cool until you end up in an abusive relationship or your child ends up in an abusive relationship. See, our shit it's all good till somebody get killed. You see? Till they go out there and try that on somebody else and somebody pump 7 shots in their ass. See? So y'all, some of y'all out there, man, y'all got that slave mentality. That's where it come from. For a lot of y'all, it come from slavery. Your mamas and daddies couldn't break the curse. And I'll be damned, you couldn't either. You didn't like being abused. You didn't like your mom and daddy beating on you, bringing you damn near to death. But you turn around and do the same thing to your child, and then you justify it by saying, well, that's my child. Well, you don't know what they did. Some of these kids, they need that, da, da, da. Okay. Did you know that's how Massa thought about y'all? Thought about our ancestors? Do you know that's why they, so you, can you give me an example of one ancestor who deserved to be beaten with a whip? Who deserved to be enslaved and beaten with a whip? Can you give me one example? That's that slave mentality, man. Some of y'all got it fucked all up. Y'all need to get y'all heads right, man. Y'all fucked up. Y'all the main ones that we're going to be having these stories on. I'm going to be reporting on in a few months or a few years or something. Y'all the same ones. Y'all the ones out here doing all this, going crazy, shooting the woman, the dog, in relationships with dudes pointing guns on you and you calling it love. He pointing the gun to your head. Y'all start kissing and making up. All that old toxic, weirdo ass shit. Y'all the ones doing that, and y'all bringing kids into the world doing the exact same thing. And I don't want to hear no shit about instilling the fear of God in a child. Why would you do that? God is supposed to be this being, this spiritual being that loves everyone. You're going to teach the children that God loves them. Hey, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So God loved them so much. Why would you fear someone you're supposed to love? If I was a child, that would make me not want to love God. That would make me want nothing to do with God. Nothing to do with that spiritual religious shit. Why should I fear my mother and my father? I should respect my mother and my father, not fear them. I never wanted my children to fear me. I never wanted them to fear me. I wanted them to respect me. When your child respects you, you're going to have a better relationship with them long term. See, a lot of y'all don't know how to communicate properly without striking something, hitting something, becoming argumentative, insulting. Abuse is not just physically hitting your child. Abuse comes in the form of insulting your child. Abuse comes in the form of purposely denying your child nutrition. See, a lot of y'all play that game too. Well, you can't eat until you do this. Abuse comes in the form of sitting on your lazy ass and telling your child, go get me some water. Come in here and turn this light off. Put on my shoes for me. Go in there and do this. Go in there and do. Y'all, some of y'all think y'all got a personal slave. Y'all get kids and y'all think y'all got a slave. Y'all need y'all asses whooped. Some of y'all parents need y'all asses whooped. Talking about what these kids need. And let's go back to our generation. Because, there's a whole lot of youngsters like me who got a bunch of ass whoopings who ended up dead and in jail. Because guess what? While you whooping on your kid ass, you're also telling them, don't let nobody hit you. If somebody hits you, you put them in the cemetery. You leave a mark. You tell your kids don't take nothing from nobody else, right? So they don't take nothing. They don't try you, but they're going to try the rest of the world. So pressure bust pipes. So they're going to go out there into the world and they're going to swing on somebody. They're going to do something to somebody else. And then they go into jail. They're going to get killed. So it's a whole lot of people. See, that's the part we don't talk about. A lot of y'all like to be like, well, I got ass whoopings. I got beat with extension cords and I came out all right. Did you really? Did you really come out all right? Did you really? It's so many people who did get abused, who did get the brakes beat off their asses, got beaten way more than any of these children today get beat. And they got killed. Some of them died. Some of those kids died getting beaten. And then some of them went out into the world and got themselves killed. Some of them ended up on drugs trying to cope with the abuse. They ended up on drugs. They ended up alcoholics. They ended up destroying their own families from that traumatic experience that they had growing up. You motherfuckers out there that's beating on those kids and thinking that shit is cool, y'all was wrong with the world, because it is people like y'all who raising these children to be adults. These children are one day going to be an adult. They're going to be an adult, and they're going to go out there and they're going to wreak havoc on the rest of society. How you think you can just instill fear in children and hate in children and think they're going to go out into the world and be loving and fearless? You're going to instill fear in them, but you want them to go out into the world and be fearless. You're going to instill hate in them, and you want them to go out into the world and be loving. That shit don't add up. Some of y'all need y'all asses whooped. I bet you $1 to a donut, the dude in the mall, I hope he see this, the dude in the mall, I bet you if it was me, I bet you if I was in that mall with him and it was me and him, one-on-one, I beat the entire brakes off his ass. I disconnect every bone in his motherfucking body. Because he can't handle no man. That's why he's beating on a little girl. That's why he's slapping, smacking a little girl around. He can't handle that. He gonna run. He come across a motherfucker like me, he got to run and go find him some kind of weapon or something. And he still ain't guaranteed to win. These are cowards. Parents, it's so many parents out there who are bullies. These parents, many of these parents are these children's first bullies. They are their children's first bullies. And then they expect their children to go out into the world and be productive. With all that trauma, with all that pain, with all that abuse. Let me say it again. If your discipline results in broken skin, bruises, and means that you have to put your hands on your child to the point they may need medical attention, that is not discipline, you dumbass. That's abuse, and you should be in jail. This is the type of stuff that makes you say, you know what, man? You know, I've always thought it was a weird idea, man. But you know what? There's a lot of weirdos out there with ideas, right? So, man, damn, I think we probably do need some damn parenting licenses. Got a license for everything else. You got to have a license to go out and fish. You got to have a license to put up a sign. You got to have a license to do hair. Parenting there is no job greater than being a parent. It is because of bad parenting that has us in the situation we're in right now, with all these weirdos around, where we're locking our doors and we got to watch our backs 24 hours a day. We got to have our head on a swivel. It's these weirdos out here who grew up with bad parenting and who are doing bad parenting and who are going to produce more weirdos. They're going to produce more children with problems. And not all children are going to be weirdos, but I'm just saying that this is what happened. This is the result. These weirdos is out here reproducing. Children are like bank accounts. You get out of them exactly what you put into them. Imagine putting $100 in the bank and then going back to the bank in, let's say, a year or 5 years, or even 10 years, 20 years, and try to withdraw $1 million. They're going to call the police on your ass. But that's what some parents do. They put absolutely all the wrong things into a child, and then they expect the best. And then they want to blame it on, oh, rap. We're going to blame it on rap. We're going to blame it on, I don't know, we poor. So we're going to blame it on poor. We're going to blame our poor behavior on being poor. They're going to blame it on everything but themselves. If their kid come out doing well, they're going to take all the credit. If the kid come out tripping and on some BS, they're going to blame everybody but themselves. Some of you guys who think you got it together just because you was raised a certain way and you survived does not mean that way was the correct way. Fam, I'm trying to tell you, when you put your hands on somebody, I don't care who it is. When you put your hands on somebody, you're almost certain to break a bond of trust that can never be repaired. I think I got one friend in this entire world that I ever had a fight with. Well, actually 2, 3 now. All of them brothers. And we were kids when that happened. People remember when you put your hands on them, and people not going to trust you, and they're going to always have a grudge. They're going to always remember that. Right or wrong, if you put your hands on somebody, man, you actually swing on somebody, you do that stuff. A lot of y'all parents, y'all cussing these children out, calling them B's, calling them H's, calling them MF's, putting hands on them, punching them in the head, punching them in the chest, kicking them, picking up stuff, hitting them. You fuckers are savages. You are uncivilized mutts, and you don't deserve to have children. Fucking bullies, a bunch of bullies. And you're all over the internet, and you're all in my comments. You in the comments. I'm reading some of the comments earlier today. I'm like, man, it's a bunch of damn uncivilized mutts out there. Keep on messing with them kids. One day they're gonna grow, your ass gonna get old. If you lucky enough, you're gonna get old. And you're gonna get old, and you're gonna need those kids' assistance. You're gonna be looking around, and you're gonna be sitting in that damn chair, not able to move, and you're gonna be just pissing and shitting on yourself for 2 days in a row. And they're gonna come in, look around, and walk out and leave your ass sitting there. And rightfully so. Some of y'all think y'all gonna be in good shape forever. Y'all gonna be independent forever. Like y'all ain't gonna never need nobody. Let me remind you, these kids did not ask to come into this world any more than you or I did. They didn't ask to come into this wicked ass world. If you're gonna bring them into the world, absolutely once you get here, okay, perhaps a person is grateful for being here, but they didn't ask to be here. But if you're gonna bring a child into the world, keep in mind, you brought that child into the world because of your pleasure. It was your selfishness. You didn't bring the child into the world because you wanted to procreate and have this great child. And not most people don't do that. Most people have children because they just want to, they having sex and oops, oh, got a baby. Most of these babies are not planned. Even when it's love involved, most of the babies are not planned. So these children did not ask to come here. But if you're going to bring them here into this wicked ass, racist ass, hateful ass, dirty ass, low down ass, stinking ass world, the least you can do is try to make their ride as easy as possible. The least you can do is not try to make them fear you too. Give them some comfort. Give them some support. They didn't ask to come here. Support them. Talk to them like they're human beings. When I was growing up, there was a commercial called Kids Are People Too. And it was a very simple commercial with a very simple slogan, but a very powerful slogan. Because oftentimes adults don't treat children like people. They treat them like objects, accessories, something to dress up and show off. Then they go out and live their life and do their thing. They come back, they leave the kids to their own devices. And they wonder why, damn, how long have you been smoking weed? How long have you been drinking? How long have you been doing these popping pills? How long y'all been out here robbing people? How long you been in a gang? If you're gonna bring these children into the world, at the very least, the least you can do is make their ride as soon as easy as possible. Some of y'all, well, I grew up hard. Well, we grew up tough. Well, we had it hard. It ain't gonna hurt them being tough. It ain't gonna hurt them to grow up hard. And you dumbass, don't you understand? Every generation is supposed to be a little better than the next. Every generation is supposed to have it a little easier than the one before. You don't understand that? Oh, that's because you don't want to understand it, because you don't want the responsibility. See, you too goddamn selfish to make your children ride a little easier than yours was. You too selfish. You got some people out there, some dudes out there, I know dudes out there that have been to prison. They're so warped, they're so messed up in the head, they actually want to see their sons go to prison too. Some women out there who have been dealt a hard blow, they've had to raise children by themselves. They are so jealous of their daughters. They want their daughters to raise their children by themselves also. They don't want their daughters to be married in a committed relationship. Pay attention to what I'm saying, fam. They're out there. Evil is all around us, man. Evil is all around us. And I can't stand bullies. No kinds of bullies. No kind of bully. A lot of parents are bullies, fam. A whole lot of parents are children's first bully. Going into the comments. Queen Jet Black, what up? You're absolutely right. They need serious counseling and therapy, but let them tell it, ain't nothing wrong with them. The fact that somebody would say they got beaten with extension cords and they turned out all right. No, partner, ain't no way you can be beaten with extension cords and turn out all right. I'm gonna tell you, I was beaten with extension cords and I did not turn out all right. I'm still coping. I'm still dealing with it. Some people say, well, you know, if you didn't go through that, you wouldn't be the person you are. You're right about that. Perhaps if I didn't go through that, I'd be a better person. So just like everybody else, I'm still working every day to try to become a better man. I want to be a better person. I try to grow every day. I believe if you're not growing, you're stuck. And if you're stuck, you're not going anywhere. I don't want to be that person. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend and act like that abuse didn't have some kind of effect on me. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? King Lost. That's the thing. We have to think about that, fam. Some of us got abused, right? And we say, well, I came out all right. Well, you know, if you wouldn't have went through that, you wouldn't be the person that you are. Have you ever thought you could, maybe you're right. You probably would have been a better person. There's a good chance you would have been a better person. You know, like, what's wrong with treating a child decent? Treating a child with respect, love. What's wrong with doing that and at the same time promoting support. What's wrong with that? Like why can't both mutually exist? Why can't you love your child, support your child, give them the attention that they need, and at the same time teach them a good work ethic. Teach them how to be responsible, how to be accountable. Reward them when they do well, when they do something impressive. Punish them when they are wrong, when they do something wrong. They punish them. Punishment does not automatically mean hands, putting hands on a child. That's a slave mentality. That's the same mentality that these white cops out here killing black folks got. They got that same slave owner mentality. Do you understand that? When they pull that gun out and shoot a black person because the black person is just there, or the black person made them drive too fast or run after them, or the black person questioning them or whatever, ain't moving fast enough, ain't doing what they want them to do fast enough, that's their punishment. They'll start squeezing that trigger. That's what y'all doing to y'all children. That's what some of you do to your children. You don't have the patience. Some of you don't have you don't have parental skills. You just don't have it. That's why you shouldn't have had kids in the first place. Some of you just don't have that. You don't have those skills. And so you shouldn't even have kids in the first place. But now that you do, if you really love the children like you say you do, at least you can listen to what I'm saying, and perhaps it'll strike a nerve. And maybe you'll at least think about what you're doing. And maybe think that maybe there's a different way. I'm gone, fam. I can't really talk about this any longer because this really upsets me. So I'm gonna shut it down. But I just wanted to come on here real quick and address this, fam. Y'all be careful out there, man, and love on them babies the right way. You dig what I'm saying? Till next time, fam. No more talk.